The world of business is really tough. We can say that from a small family business, and we're proud that we've lasted 41 years and continue to thrive. And rejection is really common and it's frequent. So you have to learn from your mistakes and you have to keep pushing forward in order to keep moving forward.
Thank you guys so much for being with us at the Global School for Social Leaders. We're gonna talk the next minutes about your work, but also about the importance of the challenges you are tackling at the moment. So let's jump directly to the point. Who are you and what is your mission and vision for the organization or company you are working with?
We are OPEC, which is Oil Pollution Environmental Control Limited. My name is James. I'm 44 years old. I've been in the business for 21 years. And we are based in Harrogate, which is a town just outside Leeds in Yorkshire in England. And this is my wife, Lucy. She's...
Hello, I'm also 44. I've been in the business around 6 years because I come from the tobacco industry. So I brought a retail side to our business. We've been around for 41 years, so we're a family business. I'm really proud that we've been around for 41 years.
Great, because this is actually the next question. Why you decide to go into this business? What attracts you? What is driving you towards tackling this problem? Can you explain also exactly what's the problem about and exactly some facts behind it?
Well, I mean, we can start off by saying that, the types of things that we're involved in, predominantly we get involved in machinery, which is to clean up the environment. So the machines are used for skimming oil from the surface of water. And also we have machines which are used as rotating jet mixing machines, which are used inside tanks in refining and terminals for stopping the formation of sludge in tanks. Both these things are used to actually recover pollution and stop pollution as well, and stop polluting the environment. So these are our two main focuses that we work on. Subsequently, we've also diversified into different areas of the environment and environmental problems and things that we have to tackle because of the issues that are faced in these factories and refining businesses. There are a multitude of polluting factors that happen, and we have all kinds of different techniques that we have invented over the years and innovated to try and tackle these problems.
Saying this, can you share a little bit what are kind of the main challenges when you are working in this industry? Are actually, if you are building up a company, it's because there is a need in the market, but sometimes you also struggle with the fact that you need to make aware the people about this big issue and real issue. So how you're handling this, the part of tackling the issue, but also make a business out of it?
There is a couple of different ways. Obviously, environmental legislation is a key driver for some of the things that we can offer to clients, but it's not the only thing. And unfortunately, there are not environmental legislation that covers everything, and it is often not enforced either. So the things that we have to do really have to provide a financial benefit and a financial payback to these companies. So the term pollution prevention pays is actually quite an important thing in our business and the way in which we work, because we can educate and show our clients that by taking on these activities, by implementing these strategies and by using our products, they can actually get a financial payback. And so it's almost a bonus, but it should be the first thing people think about. But it's a bonus that it actually really helps the environment. So we can actually help clean up the environment, but at the same time we can produce something which gives the customer a financial rebate on what they're actually achieving.
And at the same time, we've also developed, because as we don't know what's coming, we react to whatever's happening, and unfortunately in the planet that we live in, there's consistent environmental issues that we face. And we're not just business to business, we're business to consumer as well. So we've also got e-commerce websites. And that essentially is just making it easy for any sort of oil spill consumables, and we offer those to make it easy for everyday businesses to purchase items, but also homes. So we're business to business and we're business to consumer. And that can mean anything from a simple spill on a drive with a car, or a petrol station on a family-owned petrol forecourt. And then it can be as big as something on a river, but we are in forensics, in police or medicines and universities.
Yes.
We offer every kind of solution to any kind of spill, because we constantly have to react to every kind of issue.
Well, I think we've noticed that definitely the e-commerce business has actually opened up the market into different areas that we never thought we would go into, never thought were possible. You know, obviously working in pollution is very industry led. It's, you know, oil refining and oil producing and steel making and all these big areas that are big polluters. But there are also the little garage workshops, there's the hospitals and there's the schools, and there's the, you know, all different types of people like care homes and pet care, and there's different customers that we never dreamt of that we actually can now reach out to through the power of the internet and social media and e-commerce.
That's a really interesting point, because you're trying to make the balance between building up a business which provide a wonderful solution to the problem of oil splits, but at the same time, I think you need to balance as well kind of the social economical impact of these oil splits. So what are these challenges when you need to handle those communities or places or people or let's say cities affected by those problems? Do you think you also are part of this reconciliation between these big companies and the communities?
Well, yeah, it's a good question. You know, obviously these types of activities and the pollution, it does affect everybody, and it does affect the local communities in which these businesses operate. And there is a social responsibility at the corporate level in order to actually provide a safe working environment and a clean environment for these communities to continue living in the way they do. And that, you know, we know, I think it's pretty well documented that isn't the case in some places, and they need our type of innovations and solutions in order to try and implement some of these ideas to be able to try and help clean up the environment. You know, one of the things that we did do a few years ago is we pioneered a use of the containment booms, which are generically used for oil spills, clean up oil spills and contain oil spills. We actually used it to deflect floating plastics in rivers, which obviously is quite topical these days. So we actually used the booms and positioned them in a way in which we could collect all this floating debris, and we made a special basket which floated in water, and this had an ability to allow fish to pass through, but collected all the surface pollutants like the plastics and obviously some vegetation. But it's amazing how much plastic pollution is coming down these rivers from general industry, but also from the communities themselves as well. You know, people with a throwaway mentality of throwing things down the drain, and it's just amazing to see how much is collected with these devices. And I really would hope that these types of devices are taken more seriously and used more effectively, because there's so much more that we can do over the next coming years to try and help clean up this mess that we're making.
But the important point, just going back to your point, Roberto, about the social aspect of it, environmental pollution is everybody's problem. It's not just industry, and people that live around industry need to be voicing their opinions about pollution that perhaps industries are causing, and speaking up, which is going to be, we'll talk about a little bit later when I talk about my potential tips for the future. Pollution is everybody's problem, so it's so important that the social economic area around an industry, people are reporting pollution and looking for innovative ways and coming to companies like ourselves or anybody that's got a solution to pollution around where they live, to ensure that pollution is being combated in every which way it can be.
It seems you work in an industry which actually it innovates a lot. It's always bringing new challenges as a company, right? So I would like to ask you, what are the trends right now in tackling this issue? What is your company heading? Are you going to try new ways of cleaning up oil splits, or are new methodologies, new let's say legal frameworks? Can you explain a little bit this?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think there are some really fantastic new innovations that come into the marketplace. There are also some really good tried and tested methods that have been around for a long time, and I think these are things that we've been implementing ourselves. They've obviously they've developed and evolved in design over the years to keep up to date with technologies that are available now, but predominantly these technologies have been proven to be effective for many years now. What we're trying to do is not just continue with the work that we started, but we're also trying to innovate, and we're also trying all the time to try and find new ways in which to apply the technologies to do this type of work. There's all various different types of things that we could talk about. I mean, the trends now, as you say, it does come down to, yes, there is some legislation, there is some pressure from governments to push people in a certain direction, and I think that this is true in one area that we're working with in the railway industry. We're noticing now that there is quite a push now to try and stop all the groundwater pollution that's been going on for many years in the depots and the maintenance sheds where they're looking after these trains and cleaning these trains. They don't really capture as much as they could. Some of the new ones do, but some of the older depots that have been around for a very long time, they are polluting this groundwater, and we're finding now more of a demand where we can come in now, and we've actually developed a system which captures everything underneath the train. So we can lay down a series of trays which are interconnected and sealed, so that everything that falls off a train, whether it's from cleaning or from coolants, diesel fuel, greases, hydraulics, any of these types of pollutants, we're collecting them and we're taking them away to a separator, and we're separating these things out, and can use water treatment as well to clean up before it actually goes down to the drain, or in some cases straight to the river. But that's really come out of many years of research. But many years ago we did one or two of these activities where there was a demand, but there was not that much demand. But what we're finding now in recent years is there's certainly more demand coming from these customers, where they're being pressurized by the Environment Agency, by other legal bodies, to actually do something about it and spend some money to actually contain these contaminants and stop continuing to pollute the groundwater.
And just on you asked us in the same question, you said how we're reacting. One of the things, it's more an e-commerce side where my expertise comes in, is more in to consumer. We, as a result of the pandemic, we realised really early on, as a result of me having eczema, me being more homeopathic in my solution to healing, my children having eczema, trying to be more environmentally friendly, that we were not happy with the use of alcohol. We had a demand from our customers to ask us for sanitisers. We don't agree and don't wish to use alcohol, and we're putting pressure on who to say why you're not recommending alcohol-free. We very cleverly, with our chemists, developed a solution that uses a quaternary-ammonium compound that has something called benzoyl chloride in it, and we've produced our own sanitizer, which is a be-safe, alcohol-free with aloe vera in, and it gives you 2 hours protection. And what that essentially means is you have a biocide on your hands, and for 2 hours you've got this lovely film across your hands. And so when people are going into supermarkets, when kids are going back to school, and children, they touch their hands and faces all the time, they have got a film over their hands. Unlike alcohol, which evaporates. Yes, alcohol kills, but as soon as it's on your hands, it evaporates immediately. With our alcohol-free, and which we're seeing some success with, it puts a film over your hands and it gives you that 2 hours really lovely, safe protection. And so that's one way that we've reacted to, yes, we're in environmental solutions to pollution, but we're also looking at other ways in post-pandemic, because we believe that sanitisation is going to become the norm. And alcohol really has no place, I don't feel, in the world for consistently being used on hands and skin. It's highly flammable, it's not great for the skin, and we wanted to come up with a healthier alternative, and hence our Be Safe launch.
let me shift a little bit the conversation towards what are the challenges in your everyday management, or the challenges are to building up a company which is providing a really great value and tackling a really big issue, but at the same time needs to face our internal challenges. What could be the let's say in a really briefly explanation, what could be the key points of finding a really great market fit, and of course trying to reach those customers who needs your solution?
As I said at the beginning, we're a 40-year-old business, and so the way that we're still offering the same products, our base products that we've offered 40 years ago, but they've adapted due to changes in what's required from the world. But the way that we get our message across is through not only from established customers that offer us repeat business, but it's how we get to new customers, how we tell everybody about us with being such a small business. And we do this through the use of social media. And we find that by making sure we've got really clever marketing people, we've got really great digital media strategy, that we get our message out through all the platforms that we can do, whether that's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, depending on what service we're trying to get to. But that's how we kind of sell ourselves. But not only that, with existing customers, when James is certainly out with his customers, we're doing a full round 360 job there that we're explaining, this is what we're doing now, but are you aware we do this, this and this? And it's just constant education. We have to educate not only our current customers, but we have to get new business in, and we educate through social media and we market through social media. And that is the fastest way to get to the market, we feel, for such a small business.
We've got challenges as well with innovation. You know, this is something that it is a risk. You know, it's not guaranteed. You know, you think you've got a solution and you design something and you build something, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it doesn't work out because of price, or because you need to do something different with it, or something changes with the customer, or the customer doesn't end up buying what you thought they wanted to buy. So there are risks involved in trying to be innovative, and there are risks involved in trying to explore new areas of the market and develop solutions for some of the problems that we find. But it's certainly driven a lot by like a two-way street, really. You know, we have an idea what we want to give our clients, but we also have to find out from our clients what they want, what they need, and to do that, you know, like Lucy said, yeah, we have to engage socially with media platforms, but we also have to go out and see these people. We have to see what the problems are. We have to speak with them. We have to engage with them. So we've got some good loyal customers that we've had for a long time, which we rely on in order to be able to go and speak to them and find out what kinds of problems they've got, and also hopefully find new customers that present new problems to us.
And this gives space for the let's say we have to close it up with the last question, which is large part of our audience are future entrepreneurs or future business companies, which are actually also aiming at tackling issues like you guys, that you're doing it so great. So they are trying to build not only solutions, but trying to get to know exactly the tips or the best resources of, let's say, this point of inspiration where they can not only start but keep persistence in this journey. So from your own words, what could be those tips, or what is the best sharing experiences you can give the next generation of entrepreneurs or companies tackling those issues?
My kind of tips, or our kind of tips really, I suppose, for the next generation about entering into business or changing the world, really making it a better planet for us all, is firstly, it's important to use your voice. It's important to be completely true to yourself. I think you've got to believe in what you do and be genuine about what you're trying to do. I think speaking up is one of the most powerful things you can do, especially if it's to the right people. And you've got to ask them to take action in order to protect our natural world. I think secondly, you've got to read and stay informed. You've got to keep up to date with current issues, because that allows us to hold those really important conversations with key influencers. Thirdly, travel the world, interconnect with as many global people as you can. I think if you learn from different cultures and you take the best parts and mix them up together, then you can go forward and create your own perfect world. Listen. That's my fourth one. Listen, 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 listen. And that's listening to generations of whether they're old or young. I think you can always learn from everybody. And finally, it's believe. And it's having belief in yourself and having tenacity. The world of business is really tough. And certainly we can say that from a small family business, and we're proud that we've lasted 41 years and continue to thrive. And rejection is really common and it's frequent. So you have to learn from your mistakes and you have to keep pushing forward in order to keep moving forward. They're my 5 tips.
Well, just to close it up, I will give you a couple of seconds to choose this phrase or this quote that can represent your company mission or even your personal vision or mission or this personal statement that can represent you and yourself in a professional but also personal way. What could be this phrase? Please take 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean my favorite is pollution prevention pays. That seems to be something that we've lived by and been driven by for all these years and proven it that it works.
For me, it's really about tenacity, as I said, as one of my key things, and it's about I think it's actually in a Rocky movie. I'm a big fan of Rocky movies, and so there's keep pushing, keep fighting, and keep punching. He says it all the time. He puts his fists up and he goes, "Keep."
Wow, this is a powerful one.
Because actually, it is powerful. It's powerful with a fist when you hit somebody, but it's more than that. It's a metaphor. Because you get up, you can keep getting hit, and you can keep getting hit, and you can keep getting hit. But it's what you do next. Do you lay down, or do you keep getting up? And you keep getting up, and you keep pushing forward. Because that's the only way that you can improve, and you can leave a greater planet for our next generation.
I just want to say that it's such an honor, a pleasure talking with such an inspiring entrepreneurs, business, and leaders like you. Thank you so much for your time, and of course, just. You want to say the last remarks or the last message to our community will be really great.
Be creative, keep thinking, keep pushing forward, be yourself, and of course be safe.
Yeah, believe in your dreams.
Absolutely, believe in your dreams.